Give me 1 second, guys. What's up, guys? Finally, we are streaming. Joey, Conce, Interstace, Toretto, Beaufort, Pixel Baddy, what's going on? Oh, we finally are streaming, huh? It's been a few weeks, but now we are back to stream. 4925K, get again, welcome back. Welcome you guys. Alex Las Palmas, what's up? I missed you, brother. I missed you too. I missed streaming a lot. Finally we are back, huh? Let's see what the markets will do. The markets, I think the Powell will speak in 1 hour. So we'll see if Powell moves the market, but right now we still have 7 minutes before this orb is finalized. Man, feels exciting to be back on the stream. What, 3 weeks with no streams? Finally we're back. Let me know, guys, if the music is alright, if the music is too loud, too quiet. It's been a while. Let's see what the markets will do. We have orb. Is it the wide orb yet? Alex, Dynam, Drunkenness, Alexander, Dynam, Rowie, Lina, Eleanor. Oh god, you guys choose the most difficult names for me to pronounce. Chayman, Choele. Reckon you might go up? Absolutely. Let's put the mic a little bit louder. What's up, guys? I'm doing good. It's been a while since the last stream. Nice to be back. I don't have much expectations for this market. I actually went long yesterday and then I went to sleep and I woke up with a little bit of profit. As you see, I'm up to 250. When the market, I think I went long around here. And then I was like, it's okay, I go with 1 MNQ, I can sleep this. The market was way too oversold. It's Monday. I was quite sure in my long, and then I woke up being in profits. David Nuffman, Chetlag, Ixaya, Meli, what's going on, guys? Oh, it's nice to be back. Now we're gonna do this every single day. Hedge Fuge, what's up, my man? What's up? Let's see, the orb is still finalizing. I don't see anything. I honestly think we're gonna have a bullish day. You know the Mondays. You know what's going on Mondays. We have a bearish open right now, but I think we're gonna have a bullish day. You go to your job yet? Not yet. I mean, I was longing overnight. It hit my TP, and are we actually gonna sell off so early? No, man, I'm looking at ES, and are we actually gonna sell off so early? Man, I wish I quit my job yet. I wish. But we're getting closer. We are getting closer there. Looking as handsome as ever? No, that's you. You're looking at the mirror. I don't know if I want to trade before the Powell. Powell speech coming up, exactly. That's like... We'll see. We still have 4 minutes until this orb is finalized. It's Monday. I'm already in profits. I'm not rushing into any trades, but... Iron Speaker was right. If they pump pre-market and dump in real market hours. Bro, I missed you. I'm not K. I missed you too. I'm not K too. Yeah, the trading before Powell's speech. What he's gonna speak about? It's like some university. Harvard economics class. I imagine there is a little bit delay of his speech. It's not live. It's probably like 3 seconds. So maybe if you're in the class, you can be quite quick. Maybe make some profits. Or you maybe like, if you're in the Harvard class where the Powell is going, maybe you like leave a note on the wall that says recession, and then the Powell is like, why is there a recession there? And then Algos is like, dump it. How wide is the orb? Let's see how wide is the orb. The market doesn't look like it moves a lot, but it does move a lot. It doesn't look so much like visually, but it's actually almost 200 point orb, so it's not the smallest orb. Almost 1% orb. God damn, this market moves so much more than it looks like. Man, I need to stop drinking water. I'm gonna be right back all the time. Okay, let's see. The market is... are we actually bearish on Monday? That would be something new. You know what I'm really waiting for? Trump to start tweeting, get the bullshit out of the way. I think it's gonna be very similar week to last week. The market wants to dump, and then Trump comes in. His friends and family make money. Shorts get liquidated, and then we continue dumping. The market has a strange energy around it right now. The whole tweet fiasco, or the whole what is he using, social truth, or what? I don't remember what it's called. I see you have trouble with water bottle cap in the way. Yeah, wait, do I have a class here? Oh yeah, I have a class here. When is the new 4-hour candle? In 16 minutes. A little bit ASMR for you guys. It's in 16 minutes. We finalized the orb in 3 seconds. So 15 minutes is the new 4-hour candle. That 4-hour candle looks super bearish. It wanted to go above this 4-hour 9 EMA, but it didn't. Looks bearish. Garax, what's up? Been a while since I've been here. Been a while since I was here. How's the trading been? I mean, we're still trying to break the dubstep record. We are still on the way to make the break dubstep record. I think we are now. Wait, let me see. Let me see. How far are we? So I am doing the green streak, or I'm trying to do the green streak until this 92. Until this 92 says, what do we want? 92, we wanted 99 is the record. So we have, after today, we have 7 more days. Yeah, 7 more days. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's when we are on the same 99 if we make it this far. So next Thursday, I have a chance to do a record if I keep it green until then. We don't know, but if I keep it green until 9, then we're gonna break top step record. So we have a little bit to go. Man, this thing wants to thump, huh? No lube Monday. They don't even like push it a little bit higher. It's you know what was really, I would say, difficult to trade on Friday is we dump with, like, I don't want to say flash crash, but they usually, like, bears are a little bit more aggressive. And on Friday it was just slow zombie rally down. Have you taken your second round of payouts? I'm taking my 4th round of payouts this week. With this account, or with these 3 accounts, I've taken, wait, how many payouts? 3 payouts, and now I'm taking the 4th one. Now I'm taking the 4th one. It's gonna be the 4th round of payouts. You know I want to short this market. You know this, guys. I don't trust Monday shorts. I really don't trust Monday shorts. Deadpool, what's up, my friend? What's up? Are you guys playing the orb breakout? A little bit. It's a little bit setting up like an orb breakout right now. I don't trust shorts so much on Monday. Maybe I should. We have what? We have 12. We have 42 minutes until Powell starts speaking. Are they gonna dump it before Powell? Okay, let's see if the short setup actually arrives. 15 minute. What's the 15 minute doing? It's 450. I mean, like, if you're gonna trade right now, you need to take it as a scalp, right? You have like 25 minutes to hold your position, probably 25 minutes you have time to hold your position. I don't think you wanna be in when the Powell starts speaking. I mean, you can do break even. And really, how are you guys feeling? Are you feeling bearish or bullish? I am still feeling bullish about today. I don't feel bullish overall. You know, I've been bearish, I don't know, forever now it feels. I don't trust this dump. But we are building a nice orb setup, right? We are right now, we haven't closed the candle below the orb. We really haven't. Guys, did you miss my patience? Did you miss my patience? You know me. I'm not jumping into any trades quickly. I always have a belief that if I don't have a setup, it's gonna come. Okay, we closed 5 minutes below the orb. If you short from here, your stop loss is 70 points. At least my stop loss will be 70 points. Floss Aweli, what's up? I'm not in a trade. Been watching more Dubstep TV because of you. Didn't realize they actually have some useful info there. Yeah, sometimes. It depends on the guest, right? Sometimes I feel they're a little bit trolling. Like, the way sometimes they trade on live, and I'm not shit talking anyone, but the way they trade sometimes, it's just not my style. I feel they jump into trends with a little bit too late. Again, that's just my opinion. But for example, the Hogue, Flossaveli, what's up? There's this guy called Hogue. He's the older guy. I think he's like full of actual wisdom in trading. Like every time he opens his mouth, I'm shut. I'm gonna listen. You can hear from his like learnings and everything that he has shitloads of experience. Shorted for quick $30, but I don't trust shorts right now. Yeah, it's hard to trust shorts on Monday. Mandy does that all the time. Yeah, Mandy is I think scalp trader. I don't watch Stop Step myself anymore. Rarely. Because I don't know. It's, well, now if I'm streaming and everything, I don't have the time, but yeah, there are some traders who are probably really good and some traders who are so-so. I missed you, brother. Get again, I missed you. Hogue volume profile stuff is quality, truly, yeah. Hogue is when I was live with Hogue, and the Hogue was like, oh, it's pleasure to have you and learn from you and blah blah. I was like, oh, don't make me fanboy on live. It's like sincere old man with amazing trading knowledge. I think he was trading on the trading floor in New York, and yeah, it's some traders there has loads of experience, and I think the accurate way to describing it's also like coaches don't always be still my beating heart. Coaches don't always play. They're amazing coaches, but maybe not so good players. I'm not saying this about anyone in Top Step, but just it would be good to know his net worth. I found watching Top Step TV made me doubt my own trades. Feels more like entertainment than educational a lot of time. I agree. Like even when I was there, I'm going back on Wednesday. On Wednesday I'll be on Top Step. But even when I was there, I was like, there's news in 5 minutes, blah blah blah. And then I later checked it was orange folder, so I don't really care about orange folder. There's news, there's Trump tweeting, blah blah blah. Like there's a lot of noise when you're live together with them and you're trading. Man, that orb is playing out nice. I'll wait for the new 4-hour candle. I think I'm gonna trade. I have 3 accounts. No, I don't want to trade 60. What the fuck? I had 3 accounts, and man, I needed to make 2.5k, and I was in long before Trump bullshit, before he tweeted or something, and I made 6,000. So now I need to make 11,000 in total in TradeAway. So I made my life like almost 6 times harder. But I have 3 accounts. I wanna finish them. Also on Tradify. I started using TradeAway now because I made new prop accounts on Tradify. So Tradify only allows this and something else. Suffering from success. No, that's like if it would happen with actually funded accounts, but this happened with evaluation accounts. So I needed to make 2.5k, and now I need to make 11k just to pass the accounts. It was so stupid because I made like 6,000, and then I tried to lose the 6,000, and then I was obviously like max contracts, max size, everything, and I tried to lose the 6k, and then I made another 4k, and I was like, what the fuck? Like I really tried to lose money with max size, and then I managed to lose finally. Like, wait, you left Top Step? Sorry, I was out for a couple of minutes. No, I didn't leave Top Step. I have also 3 accounts here. Like, these are not funded accounts, these are evaluation accounts. So I'm just thinking that maybe I will jump trade here before I do in my Top Step account, because on Top Step I'm a little bit in fairly good profit for the day. So the question is how much I wanna give off. Man, that thing is going. New strategy, try losing money. Man, it was like, usually it's really easy to lose money in trading. Like it's actually really easy, right? But when you make too much money, and again, like, that's evaluation account, it wasn't real money, but when you make too much money and you want to lose it, then somehow market wants to give you even more money. Do opposite of what you want to do, and then you do opposite of what was the opposite of your initial thought. Your reverse strategy. You understand? Something like this. Holy shit, I wanna short this. God damn, this market is dumping. Okay. There was another experienced older dude from Dubstep TV, very long white beard. He's been away very long. Any info about him? I think you mean Eddie. Eddie was the guy. He's actually the Hulk brother as far as I know. If you wanna lose money, look for contracts with high spreads, out of date contracts, and just spam reverse trades. Well, I don't want to lose money anymore, but it would be a good idea to. But does it apply even on simulated? On the simulated? Yeah, you still get spread, right? You still get filled where the last bid or ask is. You guys shorted the orb low. That's not bad trade. That's not bad trade. 60 points in the money. $60 in the money. Okay, I'm starting to get really interested in shorts too, because this thing is really dumpy Monday. Really dumpy Monday. Like the thing I'm waiting for this market is, I'll show you guys. We are so far from those EMAs. You know, I use EMAs for bias, and we are so far, and that's also the reason I longed overnight. And I was like, because when I came in the clawbacks, when the market opened at night, every RSI, everything was so oversold. I was like, no way, they're not gonna pump it a little bit on Monday. But the thing I'm actually waiting is to Trump tweet some bullshit. We go retest those EMAs, right, on 1 hour, 4 hour. I mean, we did test the 9 EMA on 4 hours, so kind of have a point there. But manipulate, if you want to call it, right, or for Trump friends, I think this is just insider trading, well, whatever, right? So anything like daily 9 EMA, 4 hour, maybe even this 21 EMA. Like I'm waiting for this manipulation shit to happen, because I think it's gonna happen. I think if the more bearish we are on the market, the more time there will be this bullshit of Trump tweeting something, and you want to get some shorts out of the market and so on. Like, these things gonna happen, right? But my hope is, like, I'm not in a trade when those things happen. Of course, that's easier to say than done, but I want to see few retests before I start seriously. Like, that was my idea for longs in the morning as well. Man, I had such a nice trade in the morning. My trade looked something I can show you actually. My trades, you see, I was in the trade for 5 hours. I was sleeping, so 160 and 128, 160. So my entry was around here. Man, did I? Oh, okay, my trade. So this is the trade I took when I was sleeping. I think I took it like this before this candle. Man, that I was sleeping and it hit my TP so quickly, huh? I just set 120 point TP or whatever, something like this, and I was like, okay, I go sleep. Tilted so hard on Friday, I was up 150 from getting a payout and got fucked on a Trump tweet and ended up blowing account. And the psychological pressure right before a payout is real. It's so easy to say, oh, just forget you're getting a payout really soon, right? Okay, we have 4 hour opening. I might get interested what this 4 hour opening is doing. We have the new 4 hour opening. Let's see if we can actually get some bullish. I will be okay throwing in a short on the 9 EMA retest. That's 409. 409 is a little bit. Oh, it's where the New York VWAP is as well. I wouldn't hate the idea of shorting here. Otherwise, if I don't get the setup, I would rather wait for the Powell to stop speaking. Again, like, I'm in a profit. It's Monday, so that's why I'm not rushing in a trade. I just wanted to get used to streaming again, come speak with you guys, do some TEA, see what the markets are doing. But if Powell is speaking, there's a few people you don't want to trade when they're speaking, right? One is Trump, the other one is Powell, and okay, Jensen as well, the Nvidia CEO. I think like these 3 people you don't want to be in the market so much when they're speaking, or it's a little bit more risky. Everyone else is kind of like Okay, we have a bullish 4 hour open. It's getting interesting. 409. Does this market have any strength? What the RSI and everything? Okay, 15-minute RSI is kind of bear trappy. Hi, I don't trust it gonna freaking dump this on Monday. Really? We are doing Monday dump days now? I think I've seen like one bearish Monday this year. One bearish Monday. I think every single Monday has been bullish. And it's like I always told you guys as well, like if Monday is super zombie rally, like bullish zombie rally, it's just them, like I don't know, they are doing it so often, right? They have Monday super bullish, then Tuesday maybe so, and then you have Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, kind of like last week, right? You have super bullish Monday, you have fairly bullish Tuesday, Wednesday you have a maybe range, so you can say that's distribution for the bigger boys, and then Thursday and Friday was just dump. But overall, this market, okay, let's discuss a little bit the bigger picture. I have this marked, this area here with between the blue lines. It is high time frame support, right? The contract adjustment a little bit changed it. But why this area is because this was the previous all-time high, or this was like, yeah, this was the previous all-time high before we had a small bear market last year, right? This was like 2 months of dumping. So kind of like just price action wise, this should be strong area where we will at least get some bounce, right? All the resistance turning into support, and we kind of took out all the lows here as well. But it's difficult to long this market, because if you look on a higher time frame, this is a daily time frame, right? We were in this range for God knows 5 months, 4 months, a long time. We finally broke out this range, man. I had such a good call out as well on Discord, where I said like, hey, this doesn't look like a range anymore, this range is turning into a bear flag, and this was the bear flag I was talking about. And man, it gave the perfect bear flag kind of setup. But I'm expecting like we will have some kind of bounce here, and like what I want to see for this market for me to keep shorting it is, let's see, I'm right now, if I would look for entry, it would be around New York VWAP, because we are opening the 4-hour candle. I think we have some room for bulls, but Powell is speaking in 25 minutes, so we'll see. But I'll give you a little bit longer time frame analysis, what I think is like what I want to see in the market, right? So as I said, we are in this, I would say, probably support area, previous all-time high before the 2 months of bears, and I assume we are finding some support. And as you see, the same area here is the weekly 100 EMA too. How many accounts you got now? I have 3 funded and 3 evaluation in Tradify, so 6 in total, but 3 of them are not funded yet. I don't think we're gonna shoot through this 100 EMA immediately on a weekly. Like I always tell you guys that high time frame EMAs are so important. I started to be super bearish when we lost this 200 EMA on daily, right? And now on a weekly, like you kind of expect those high time frame EMAs, especially 4-hour daily weekly, you expect them to give some reactions. So will we close weekly candle below it? Can be a chance, right? The war is rather escalating rather than de-escalating. Doesn't matter what Trump says. I think, right, again, I never want to have political statements in this channel, but the war is, I don't think it's so political. So in that sense, I think like there is a situation where Trump is trying to save the market a little bit, and the market, at least I hope, is realizing more and more that Iran is kind of holding the cards in terms of the B stocks and everything, right? Trump tries to bump the market with the B stocks. Iran is like, no, we are not talking about peace. And then so far the market, I don't know if it's manipulation or not, but it's still believing Trump, right? And then Iran is coming like, no, whatever Trump is saying, it's not true. So based on those things, the macro things and what's going on in the world, I think there is a chance that we close candles below that 100 EMA. But I think this 100 EMA has some fight inside. So ideally, what I want to see in this market, maybe retest the 9 EMA on daily, which is 23,985, right? Retest this daily 9 EMA. Then we have 4 hour, same thing here. Test something else than 9 EMA. 9 EMA retest that we had is great to confirm that we are kind of bearish today, right? If you don't have 9 EMA, you're not gonna have any other EMA. But I think this week we will see some retests. There has to be, right? Otherwise it's gonna be difficult market, because if you short now, you know there's gonna be some heavy bullish moves by tweets or whatever. We have tweet economy market, if you like it or not, but that's kind of the reality. So I would say that maybe when this EMA kind of comes like this, maybe we get something like, you know, like, yeah, because you know with those EMAs, you know they're gonna get retested. It doesn't matter if it's a daily 9 EMA, if it's a weekly. Okay, weekly is quite far. I mean, 1,000 points, one big Trump tweet. But I really want market to kind of retest them, because if you retest them and you fail, then you know that something like this is a perfect example, this one here, right? You retest, you fail the retest, then you kind of like, you feel safe shorting here because you know it retested 200 EMA. So if the bears continue the action, you're gonna go far away from this area. Like usually if you don't successfully reclaim this 200 EMA, that means you're gonna go far away from here, like here, right? And then you come back, then you retest it again, because that EMA is gonna be lower and lower, right? It's following the price. So I would ideally want to see some retest, survive them, or even maybe be in longs, who knows? But I think they're gonna happen. And then you're gonna have much better opportunities to short, because your kind of market has confirmed, okay, we are not reclaiming those EMAs. And yeah, I think like there is some case for bulls. I think it's really hard to long this market, because I mean it is bearish. Like no matter what you want to believe, the market is bearish. Do Tradify live accounts country restriction exclude Estonia? I hope so. Like for me, the fact that Topstep don't have live accounts for Estonia is the best news ever. I love the fact, like when I make some money here, right? Okay, we are coming to the orb low, but Powell is speaking in 20 minutes. I'll be careful. I might take a scalp short soon. I like how it's developing. It's the 4-hour open. We have a bullish 4-hour open, and we are coming to the orb low, but no setup for me. But the war is warring. Yeah, exactly. Sadly. But I just think we have some bullish days in store before we continue dumping. I think we're gonna continue dumping. I think the worst case scenario for the, where is the EMAs? I think the worst case scenario for bulls is at least 200 EMA test on weekly, which is the most bearish scenario. Like if you don't hold this, the market might be cooked. But this would be 22% from all-time high, from the last all-time high. 20% decline was, I think it was the same last time. If you look what Nasdaq did last time, yeah, like 25%, right? So I would probably stop shorting anywhere here. That's like, we have 3,000 points to go, but I don't think we're gonna fly there so quickly. Like, we had super thumpish action for bears. There's so many shorters in this market, and usually you want to flush those shorters out. And the way you do it is you either zombie rally and you just make those shorts bleed, or you're gonna have some Trump Giga Candle. Snooze? Soon. Oh yeah, you were asking about this. Yeah, snooze. I really love trading. It's the hardest thing I have ever done in my life, but it makes me want to be the best mentally I can be. I have hit the gym harder than I ever have in my life and eaten healthy. Let's go, man. Let's go. Okay, let's see. The market is coming to the low of the orb. Someone asked if I want to reverse orb. I mean, it's Monday. It's possible, right? Do we have any divergences? Not really. Not really divergences here. Wait, let me see, where's 15 minutes? Okay, 15 minute 9 EMA is coming close. The only shaky thing is Powell speaking. Powell worries me. Yeah, I mean, if it worries you, it worries me as well. The best thing to do is not trade, right? Like, you can have a situation where Powell says something that supports your trade and then you're gonna hit your TP quickly, but at the same time, if he's gonna say something what is against your trade, then you're gonna be like, why did I trade when I knew that Powell is gonna speak? But Carex, you made a good point about trading making you a better person. It's okay, we are coming, wait 1 second. I mean, it's not the worst place to short if it continues, right? This EMA mix here is juicy, because if you short from here, then you can put your stop loss really around here, because look at the stack of EMAs you have here, right? You have 9, 21 and 100 EMA. If they're not gonna hold this price to continue dumping, it's fine. You're gonna get out and you're gonna find a new trade. But I think it's really easy to find where your stop loss should be when we are coming close to this candle. Let's see. Power is coming. I'm not rushing into any trades. We are going into the orb. But Carex, yeah. Trading really makes you a better person. I agree. I become so much more patient, calculated. The only bad thing about trading is, like, you see mountains and you're like, oh, that's a higher low. That's a down. You've seen there's a meme about how I think in Barcelona you have like some kind of church, and then there's a video of like higher highs, higher lows, like you start to seeing price action in complete random places where it's completely irrelevant to see price action. That's the only thing about trading. Like, I always see markets everywhere. I'm a little bit sick in my head, but otherwise, trading truly makes you a better person if you take it seriously, because you need to work on yourself in order to become a really good trader, right? You need to become more patient, more controlled. You need to control your emotions. You want to be more disciplined, because you see that if you're not disciplined, it's gonna hurt you in terms of profits and so on. Let's see. Do I want to trade before Powell speak? It's so. But I'm starting to feel the urge that I want to trade, right? I haven't taken any trades yet, so. My girlfriend once told me she had two bad news, so I said great double bottom. Make sure to liquidate. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen some memes about this as well. Girlfriend is like, we are breaking up, and you're like, you're not watching high time frame trend. Like, we are high time frame bullish. Why are you getting emotional about short term swings? Like something like this. I saw like memes about this as well. Like when your girlfriend wants to break up, you're like, come on, look at the higher time frame trend. We are still above EMAs. The high time frame is showing us good EMAs. Okay, let's see. I mean, I think the whole market is waiting for Powell to speak. I don't like. There is a setup here, right? Right. There is a setup. Don't get me wrong. There is a setup. We are retesting the orb low. It looks like a really clean orb setup. You know what? I'm gonna trade on my Tradify accounts because that's not real money per se. I'm okay taking this trade on my. Let me see. Stop loss 395. Where is 395, man? I don't. Someone said that Tradify is goated, and where's my TP2? Man, I think my order is now fine. I'm in short on my funded accounts. Here I'm okay getting stopped. Like I don't like the whole. I'm taking the orb continue. You understand what I'm trading? I'm trading the orb breakout. So you also on Tradify now? Which account? I have 3 50k accounts. I have 3 50k accounts here, and as you know, you need to make 2.5, and I made too much money, so now I need to make like 11,000 in total. But like, it doesn't show me where my stop loss is. Do you know what I mean? It's a little bit in Top Step. It's really easy to understand where your stop loss is. Here it's like, where is my stop loss? 404. Let me mark this on my chart as well. It's a little bit. It takes a little bit time to get used to it. Is what I'm saying. I think it's right now in my entry, right? Yeah, 4, 3, 4. Okay. My stop loss is 4. Oh, what's my stop loss? Like it's a little bit hard for me to manage my trade here. In Top Step it's easy, you drag, you extend. Like here it's a little bit confusing. You can trade that in TradingView. I'm sold. I'll do it today. I know you can connect. Yeah, I forgot about this. That's a good point. I will do it today. I can't also see the stop loss. Okay, so if I use it, okay, I connected with TradingView. That makes the most sense. But right now, I even forgot where is my TP. Let me see. Limit 23.5, 23.5. Okay, now we have visually. Powell might fuck up my trade, but it's evaluation accounts. I don't care so much. We'll see. 50 points. Yeah, I'm okay losing a little bit. Man, Let me change the song. Do you guys listen to rap? Have you listened to Kanye new album? Kanye dropped album. I listened a little bit. That was quite okay. But if you wonder what I'm trading a little bit the OR breakout, right? Plus, where is the EMAs? I want to be protected 406. So actually, I want to have a little bit higher stop loss. Is it to say? Okay, I need to like look at this. This is game and trading. This is truly like okay. That's it. Now we're done. Okay, so I can connect my trading view. Let's see if I can do it. It should be here, right? Should be right. Link? No. Okay, I'll check it later. Have you tried any other firms like My Funded Futures or Lucid? No. Tradify was the first one outside of Topstep. So I've been on Topstep forever now. And I was like, okay, I need more accounts. And I was so sure that I was put to live, right? Like, I was always like, how can I have a calendar like this and I'm not live? It didn't make sense for me. And then now I understand why I'm not live. And then top right next to the publish button, press trade in TV. You mean here? You mean here, right? Ah, okay, trade with your broker. Okay, I'll do it tonight, later. Today is fine, trade away. Tomorrow we're gonna trade from TradingView, those accounts. That is fine. Oh, we have 9 EMA on hourly rejecting us. I mean, everything. This market will probably change as Powell starts speaking. Can we see him speaking as well? What did I put my... God damn, that's the thing. I need to check my stop loss and everything, because if you don't have it visually, then you kinda blind. Okay, let's see if we can find Powell speaking. Is this one? No, this one. I think it's this one. Okay, when it starts, I'll stream it to you guys as well. When it starts, I stream it to you guys as well. Just connect TradeAway to TradingView. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it today. The reason why I don't want to do it on stream because this VOD will be on YouTube and I don't want to stream my login settings and everything. You never know in YouTube. But I think I'm gonna get cooked on this trade. I mean, there's two things, right? Will Powell cook me or will Powell not cook me? But it was funny when I started using TradeAway for the first time. Man, it was confusing. Because the thing is, like, you need to... I went in with 3 micros, right? And when you enter with 3 micros, you need to put 9 because you have 3 accounts. Like, the whole shit was confusing in the beginning. Now I'm getting used to it. It's been a week since I started trading. The markets are holding. Let me see. Powell speaking soon. I mean, so far it's the OR breakout trades. I don't see anything else. I think we might retest those EMAs. They're exactly where my stop loss is. Yeah, where my stop loss is. I see the vision where kind of making pair flag as well. Imagine Powell becomes super bullish till your stop loss and then becomes ultra bearish. No, that's not live account. That's prop firm evaluation. This is not even prop firm funded accounts. These are 3 evaluation accounts. Man, I wish I had live account 58,000. No, it's the evaluation accounts, not live account. Okay, Powell starts 3 minutes. Yeah, he can be bullish until my stop loss and then bearish, right? Maybe we hit my TP in 3 minutes. That would be wishful thinking, but it's not impossible. Okay, I think the market is waiting for Powell. I honestly think that's the case. Or we're gonna have our breakout. I mean, there's a good chance that this is just the normal orb trade and we will get our TP. And TP is, yeah, I mean, it's reasonable. 100 points. And it feels so calm to trade the evaluation account. I really, in evaluation, I think evaluation stage, everybody is kind of psychology experts or like master in psychology. Like I really don't feel any pressure when I'm trading evaluation accounts. But prop firm, this is Tradify. This is Tradify. I like Tradify because I asked ChatGPT kind of do the research on all the rules and everything, and then it said like Tradify has the most closest rule set for with Topstep, like they are the most similar. And yeah, there's things like, for example, DCA, right? Sometimes I add to my positions, and some prop firms actually like they can punish you for just adding few contracts in your trade. Let's see, I'm gonna look for my own account trades probably when Powell stops speaking. Is he live? No. I think he's gonna be live really soon. 1 minute, right? Powell is never late as well. Powell is never late. But if you're not trading evaluation accounts like me, be careful. I'm okay losing on evaluation accounts, but if it's real money, it can get a little bit wicked, it can get a little bit volatile. Depends what he says. So be careful. Be careful with your trades. He's late? He is late. Is this bearish or bullish that he's late? The question is it bearish or bullish that he's late? And the question is what he's gonna speak about. I wanna listen in as well. Oh my god, these YouTube chats are crazy. They're so degenerate. You see everybody spamming shorts, longs. Your FedSpeak is not live? Am I in the wrong link? Yeah, the market, I think the whole market is waiting for Powell to start speaking. The market is really, like, it's in a holding pattern, right? Oh, I like the fact that we are moving down with EMAs. That's protecting my trade. Technically. Powell doesn't mean so much if you're talking about technicals. He can move the market for sure. Bro, he's late. Or do you guys have any other link? No. It's holding on 9 EMA. Oh yeah. Little bear flaggy here, huh? Like, if Powell wasn't speaking, I would be even confident to short this with real money. Petra, what's up? I'm ready for Powell talks. Yes, I'm ready. I don't have any real money trades. I have one evaluation trades. That's fine. I'm not with the big size, with 3 micros. Quite tight stop loss as well. But now on? Yes, okay. I'm gonna put my headphones, I'm gonna listen with you guys. We're going into gamer mode.
But rather with a deep study of institutions and laws. Raised in Washington, D.C., he attended Princeton University, where he earned a Bachelor of Arts in Politics in 1975. He then attended Georgetown University Law Center. While earning his law degree, he also served as editor-in-chief of the Georgetown Law Journal, one of the world's most influential and prestigious legal publications. He then started a career and breadth. He distinguished himself first in the private sector, working in investment banking and private equity, notably as a partner at the Carlyle Group,
Should be louder now.
repeatedly answering the call for public service. He served with distinction as Assistant Secretary and then Undersecretary of the Treasury under President George H.W. Bush. In 2012, he returned to public service as a member of the Federal Reserve Board of Governors. His nomination to serve as chair in 2018 by President Donald Trump, and then his renomination to serve as chair by President Joe Biden in 2021, stand as testaments to his bipartisanship. Chair Powell approaches economic stewardship with a philosophy grounded in empirical evidence, institutional humility, collaboration, and public service.
We're gonna
the
hit
greatest
my
Fed
TP.
chairs in our history, Paul Volcker, Ben Bernanke, Chair Powell advances the interests of our nation and not his own.
As soon as I said we're gonna hit my
sometimes
TP.
at great personal cost. We are immensely privileged to have him share his insights today. Please join me in warmly welcoming the Chair of the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System, Jerome Powell.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks very much.
So I'd like to start at the beginning of your career. You studied politics and then law, and then eventually pivoted from that to public service. Were you thinking about public service and economic policy making at the start, or did all of that come as a surprise later? And how did you decide to make the pivot when you were in the middle of your career?
Let me start by saying, David, thank you so much for having me, and thank to all of you for being here today. It's great to be here. I've been looking forward to this.
Looks like an interview.
Yeah, so I took macro and micro my freshman year, and it wasn't as interesting
Powell
to
kind
me
of
at
needs a
that
new
age,
job, huh?
than some other things, so I wound up majoring in politics, actually specializing in Africa. It's fair to say that my freshman major was acoustic guitar. My parents gave me a Martin D35 for high school graduation. They must have regretted that because that's what I was really working on mostly. But I did finally figure out what I wanted to do. And when I graduated from college, I really had no plan, but I did have one thought, and that is to have a career in the private sector, but also to do public service intermittently. And I was thinking about people like George Shultz, who was famous at many economic jobs. And,
Doesn't seem like he will speak about important Fed
those
stuff.
sorts of things. And I grew up in Washington, D.C.
Even if he
My
mentions
parents were
some
not-
things about
my dad had fought in
recession
World War II,
or
and
the
he had been a US
war or
attorney,
everything,
but they weren't
like as
people
soon
who
as
were
it's
terribly
negative,
plugged in
market is
politically.
gonna
I was very interested, though, in those years
Market
in
is gonna
public
enjoy it,
policy and
is what
in
I'm
trying to
trying
create
to
a
say.
life that was partly private sector and partly public sector, and amazingly enough, that's kind of what happened.
Great. So now, jumping right to the present, we talk about the Fed as a unitary entity, but of course, the Fed is led by the Federal Open Market Committee. There are 12 voting members. You, despite being chair, only have one vote. And in normal times, there's a lot of consensus. Everyone's in agreement. Lately, there's been some disagreement. There's been votes to keep interest rates the same, but some members of the FOMC have decided instead to vote to decrease interest rates. How does the disagreement on the FOMC make your job harder as you describe the path of economic policy going forward?
You know, I don't think of it as making my job harder. I think it's, and I've found throughout my career that when you have a really difficult problem, it helps to hear from all sides. And in a way, for example, when I was a private equity investor and I was looking at supporting a transaction that I wanted to do, I really wanted to hear from the smartest people. Tell me why it's a bad deal. Tell me now before we do it. And I just think you don't really know how much you believe in something until you've had somebody really try to take it apart. So I welcome that at the FOMC and at the Fed generally. And I think it helps us make better decisions. The Fed has had a tradition of governors not dissenting, but that's really not typical of other major central banks where there's more dissenting, or I mean, they're different, depends on the central bank. And to me, what matters is
Saint
dissent
Sam, what's
thoughtful?
going
Is it
on?
helpful?
How are you doing,
Does
my
it
man?
help? Does it express a point
We're
of
listening
view?
to
Can
Powell,
you stand behind it and say,
keeping the win
that's
streak
very
going.
thoughtful? And that kind of a thing is
Nothing
not
special.
bad. And it doesn't hurt
Divergence
with
between ES and
communications.
NQ?
You know, I think
Yeah,
a
you're right.
situation
There
like the
is.
present situation where
There is
there's
divergence.
there's sort of downside risk to the labor market, which suggests keep
I got
rates
a
low,
short
but there's
200 points
upside
this
risk to
morning.
inflation,
Let's
which
go.
suggests
You
that
took the
don't
open
keep rates
short.
low.
That's a nice
You've got
trade.
tension between the
I
two
have a
objectives.
small divergence here.
And I think to try to expect unanimity at a time like that, where it's really quite historically challenging, it would almost be misleading to be really confident in which way that should go. In fact, it's been said that confidence is what you feel before you really understand the problem.
Okay. Let's turn to the Fed's balance sheet.
Feels like a month since I joined last time.
2009,
I didn't
great
stream for
financial
3 weeks
crisis,
too, so I think
there was
that
a
also
massive
helps.
expansion
I took
the Fed's balance sheet. And then again in 2020, under your leadership,
taking break from
there was a
YouTube,
second
did hit the channel.
vast
YouTube didn't
expansion
recommend
in
me
the
the
Fed's
stream.
balance
It's
sheet to
okay.
address
It's gonna come back.
these two economic
It's
and financial
gonna
crises.
now we're gonna stream every
The
single
balance
day,
sheet has
guys.
since come down a bit, but it still
Streams are
sits
completely
at
back.
over $6 trillion.
Then YouTube will put
So I'd like
me on
to
again
hear
as
your
well.
views on how efficacious this vast
But yeah, since I was
bond
not streaming for
program
3
has
weeks,
been,
I was in a
both
few
the
times in Top Step
2008
TV.
and then again in the
It was
2020
really nice.
episode.
And
also
now
hear your
the
reaction
whole
to
sunlight,
critics who say that
sunlight
the Fed has
daylight
become too big a
saving thing
player
kind of messed
in the
up my
bond
schedule
market. The Fed has become too
for the stream,
influential.
so now
There's
I'm
been a
back to
muddying
streaming.
of, as according to the critics, of monetary policy and fiscal policy. Do they have a point, or are they wrong?
So I think the place to start with that is to
Glad we are
the
back.
problem that people were struggling
I
with
missed
from
streaming.
about
I really did miss
2008
the
to
streaming.
2022, let's say, in central banking everywhere in the world is once you've cut interest rates to zero, do you have anything else you can do? Let's say you cut interest rates to zero and the economy is still clearly not flourishing and it wants more support. So do you just say, well, we're done, we're out of ideas here? And there were two ideas that were followed in the global financial crisis, one of which was to buy assets, longer-term assets, and what you're doing there is you're buying longer-term government-guaranteed securities, which would hold down longer-term rates, and that should stimulate the economy. Or also forward guidance, which
short is playing
tend
out
to
so
hold
far.
down forward rates as well, or just rates
We
generally.
have 50
So
points
we
to
did
go.
those two things rather than do nothing. And I think in the first instance, they were both efforts were successful at restoring market function and at restoring financial stability.
I don't see this market dumping a lot
Of
today.
the global financial crisis
Just
and the
because it's
pandemic,
Monday.
we had massive problems of market function.
Just because
they
it's
were solved.
Monday.
I think the question, getting to your question, David, of the macroeconomic effects is a much less certain question. I don't think there is an accepted answer, but I would just say there's an oceanic quantity of research on this, and overall it tends to find that buying long-term assets does lower interest rates and does provide some support for economic
That short
activity.
was actually good, no matter if the Powell is
I
speaking
guess
or
I'd
not.
be in the camp of thinking that there's something
I will take some
in
profits
that,
if it was my read
but
money
it's
right
hard to
now.
quantify it, and I think different people have different views on how much those effects could be. The other side of it is, QE is thought by the critics to risk all kinds of other things. So, for example, you could buy too much of the Treasury market and it would stop functioning well. We have not seen that here. At the very beginning, there was the thought that it would be inflationary. We have not seen that, or that it would threaten financial stability or even create inequality. So we haven't really seen the downside risks. At the same time, the last thing I'll say is, I remember before I took over as chair thinking,
First stream back and we might
almost
be hitting
certainly
100
never
points.
have to do quantitative easing.
I think it is
what's that
almost
expression?
100 points, 79
Man
points.
plans and God laughs, something like that. So it just, the pandemic came around.
Business
and,
as usual, guys,
we
huh?
needed to do a lot of asset purchases.
We opened the
big
stream
volume.
with
We
100
did.
point trades.
So far,
Business as usual,
no,
boys.
No Treasury Department has ever said, stop doing that, you're supporting the economy too much. Maybe that'll happen someday, but it hasn't happened yet.
So let's talk about the dynamics of inflation since the spike in 2022. Inflation has been coming down since then, but it still hasn't reached its 2% target. Some have argued that that last mile is extremely difficult, and to obtain that,
Can we hit
we
my
will
TP?
need a recession. Others have argued that
Before
you've
he says
gotten us
anything
very
bullish.
close and you'll get us the rest of the way.
Before
Are you
Mr.
concerned
Powell,
about the time duration of the path from the high inflation of 2022 back to target? It's taken time. We're not
I missed
there
what you said.
yet.
What are you using different account for more
Is that
emails?
a
Yeah,
destination
this
we'll
is.
reach,
I'm
or
making 3
are
new
you concerned
accounts.
that the
So I
last
want to
mile
go.
is very difficult?
I have 3 accounts in Dubstep,
We will
as you
reach,
know.
the
And now I'm
FOMC
making 3
is
new
that we'll continue
accounts
to be
in
committed to
Tradify
getting
too.
inflation
I want to
back
scale
to
accounts. I
2%
want to
on a
go.
sustained
I want to have
basis.
6 accounts. Then I want to have 10 accounts, 15 accounts,
so I
and
feel
so
like
on.
we had pretty much
Because
gotten
imagine
there
if
at
I
the
have
end of
15 accounts
2024,
and
against
I have
the,
a calendar like this,
predictions of
right?
almost
When we have calendar like this
economic
with 15
suppression,
accounts,
when we raised rates a lot and very quickly in 2022,
then that's different money.
100% essentially of economists were forecasting a recession. We didn't have one. Actually, we had 23 and 24 were both very strong years as the supply side healed and as our higher rates had some effect.
There
on
goes my
inflation.
trade.
So by 2024, you had the economy growing at 2.5%. You had inflation in the 2 plus a few tenths on a 12-month basis by the end of the
You
year.
will be on a yacht soon.
And, you had the employment market. You still
Far
had the
from
labor
it. I'm
market,
still working.
essentially full employment.
The
So I would
first
call that a soft
first
landing.
mission is
We
to
had it
be
there.
full-time
Then
trader.
Since then, we've had to face a much smaller
I told you guys.
source of inflation.
I
which is the tariff
I wanna
inflation.
finish this trade
It's
before he
visible, and
says
we think
something
it's really
bullish.
just a one-time price increase. That's been our thinking since the beginning. Right now, we think it's adding somewhere between a half and a full percentage point to inflation. But that's a much smaller thing than we saw during the pandemic
Yeah.
inflation.
As soon as he turns bullish,
and
this
of course now
market
we're
is going to
facing
change.
events in the Middle East, which will certainly affect gas prices, and we feel like our policy is in a good place for us to wait and see how that turns out.
Great. So let me turn to the current crisis in the Middle East and the effect on energy prices. Indeed, this classroom is familiar with that question from the last problem set, where we asked, how would you advise the Fed to respond to the rising price of oil?
If I do the same stream, or even similar
when there's a
stream
demand
on
shock,
15
it's a
accounts,
pretty natural
that's
set
why
of
I love prop
recommendations
firms.
that emerge from
They
the
will
Fed.
give you
But when there's a
opportunity to
supply
scale.
shock, like this energy price shock, there's trade-offs that the Fed has to juggle. How do you make those trade-offs in general, and how do you make those trade-offs in this particular instance? And can you help everyone with their piece?
Well, maybe they should tell me. Sure. So you start with what you said. Our tools work on demand. Higher rates will tend to moderate demand. Lower rates will tend to stimulate demand. And when you have a supply shock, our tool doesn't have meaningful shorter-term effects on supply. So
this thing is going to stop me out.
Shock, the first question is, do you respond to it? And the classic question has been around energy, just in general, not really speaking about the current situation, although I'll get to that, I guess. But energy shocks have tended to come and go pretty quickly.
Can you go part-time so you can trade longer? I don't think I can go part-time.
By the time the effects
I don't think it's possible.
Tightening in monetary policy,
Yeah, I think I'm going to be stopped out here. Market is liking what Powell is saying.
Long gone, and you're weighing on the economy at a time when it's not appropriate. So the tendency is to look.
The question is, do I want to short this with my real money?
Essential aspect of that is you have to carefully monitor inflation expectations, because you can have a series of these supply shocks, and that can lead the public.
Due to the latency, you can't catch him. It's always impossible to think that you're gonna trade the news, right? The market will receive news and process.
Very, very carefully.
And
in the current situation, you have to be mindful of the whole.
The market will always show you if the news is bullish or bearish. Like even right now, I don't really care what he's saying. I only care about the market reaction, because market will show me if it likes what Powell is saying or if it doesn't like.
And we're very mindful of that fact. Inflation expectations do appear to be well anchored beyond the short term, but nonetheless, it's something as we will eventually maybe face the question of what to do here.
But 15-minute 9 EMA.
Yeah, because we don't know what the economic
15-minute 9 EMA is holding
we'll
us.
certainly be mindful
That's
of that
nice.
broader context when we make that decision.
Great. So you've been a powerful and vigorous defender of the independence of the Fed with respect to monetary policy. You've also been collaborative with administrations with respect to financial regulation. So under President Biden, you collaborated in a program of increasing regulation. Under President Trump, you've worked together to reduce regulation. So on the one hand, we've got an independent Fed with respect to monetary policy, and on the other hand, we have a collaborative Fed with respect to financial regulation. I don't think there's a tension there, but can you explain to us the two different approaches and how you understand them?
Yes, so start with monetary policy. I think
that's a juicy reaction
pretty
from
broad
9 EMA.
consensus in both political parties on both sides of the Capitol Hill.
Juicy.
And our oversight, by the way, is Congress, not the administration. But pretty broad agreement that on monetary policy, the Fed needs to be fully politically independent, not reactive to political things at all. We just need to do our job.
15-minute 9 EMA is just completely crazy.
Regulation is a little bit different.
It's really good when
since
it's trendy
Dodd-Frank,
market.
the Dodd-Frank Act
Sometimes
created
it lets you
something called
down
the
when
Vice
it's
Chair for
choppy
Supervision,
market.
who has a specific statutory
But it is
assignment,
quoted. It
which
is
to
quoted.
oversee all of supervision.
Like look at this.
And also set the agenda for regulation. So
You
the Vice Chair
can't
for
get
Supervision,
more perfect reaction than
if
this.
she wants to propose a change in, for example, the Basel III.
And at the
Accord
same
as
time, we are at
United
21
States,
EMA
she has to bring that to the Board of
on
Governors,
5
which is
minutes.
7
So it's like
governors,
the story goes
and
together
vote
really
for it,
good.
But she has full
Probably
control
3
over
minutes,
supervision.
not
So
much.
as chair, the whole idea is to be non-political and not, never working for or against any political party or individual, or never even considering things like that. So I think the way the law works is the chair should allow the Vice Chair for Supervision to carry out the role that Congress has assigned to that person by statute. And that's what that is. So you'll see And you know, the two parties really have a big difference on regulation now. So I like to think that the chair should always be someone who is working without regard to political, and should be therefore a person who can be reappointed by either side. That's always been the case. It's been, you know, Ben Bernanke was reappointed, I was reappointed. And I think it's a good test of the Fed's nonpartisanship that your appeal is really bipartisan. I think that's a critical thing. So if I were to try to impose my personal views on regulation, that really wouldn't work. So I think there's
even 5 minutes is not closing about the 9 EMA.
Any chair needs to let the vice
Good
chair
signs for shorts, but Powell is speaking, so
another voter is what I am.
I don't trust anything right now what the market is showing.
Let's talk about Dodd-Frank and the reforms to the
This
financial
last
system.
candle showed that Powell can start
2008
moving this
was
market
a
so
terrible
quickly.
crisis, and there were many efforts made in the years afterwards to tighten the bolts and create a safer financial system, less prone to these kinds of cataclysmic events. But today we look out at the world and we see lots of threats, both inside the formal banking system that you regulate and in the non-bank financial system, which is lightly or not at all regulated. So I wanted to have your thoughts on whether we're in a position of relative safety after all the Dodd-Frank and other reforms following the 2008 financial crisis, or whether the new threats actually have brought us to another
That's a good
period
question.
of concern. And just to illustrate with a couple examples, inside the banking system, there's commercial real estate that has fallen in value. That affects both the banking system and non-banking financial institutions. We have the private credit market and a very active debate about its health. We have concerns about cybersecurity in the age of AI. Do you worry that another financial crisis looms out there? Of course, there's always a possibility, but is it something that's an issue of high alert, or do you feel that we're putting all the pieces in the right places?
You know, after the global financial crisis, we actually started a new division called the Division of Financial Stability, and their job is to be, you know, sort of the watchers.
What do we have tomorrow? Do we have anyone speaking tomorrow when the market is open?
The old system was a crisis arrives, we get the team together, and we
No.
battle the crisis. This is much more of an ongoing
Not so
monitoring
much.
thing with a framework that can be checked. So I would say after the global financial crisis, which happened when you all were extremely young, between Dodd-Frank and the Basel agreements, we pretty dramatically raised the amount of capital and liquidity that the largest firms and other banks have. And I think that's been a good thing. I think they're also much sort of more transparent and more aware of their risks and that kind of thing. So I think we've significantly hardened the system against the kinds of things that happened in the global financial crisis, where you had a lot of credit losses really around mortgages. And that kind of a situation, we've got well-capitalized
By the way, guys,
large banks.
one is 15-minute 9
But that's
EMA,
just one part of the financial
but
system.
9-minute 9 EMA is
Capital
also
markets, the
super
US
goated.
has by far the largest capital market
Super
sector
goated.
relative to the banking sector.
I think
Other
15-minute 9
countries
EMA is
still have a
better,
much bigger banking sector relative to
but
their capital markets.
sometimes 9-minute is
And,
also
you know,
amazing.
that's gonna
I don't
be
know
less
why, but 9-minute
well-regulated, and
works.
That's a good thing. You want it to be the place where where biotech companies can do IPOs, and they may or may not succeed, but they can get capital out of that market. And you know you're taking a lot of risk, but great things happen because people put money into biotech. So
We are closing the hourly candle,
we've
huh?
done some hardening of that, but we shouldn't be trying to regulate risk out of existence.
Not so bearish
So I
though.
think, and we did fix some of the things that broke in the global financial crisis and the pandemic. We did address. The real thing, though, is the economy. The financial sector is just always evolving rapidly.
And I love Powell. He
think
never speaks in a way that he
Vigilance is
wants
what
to
you need.
move
You
the
just need
market,
to
you
always
know?
that there's another thing
I
coming.
don't think we're gonna get
I think
another
in
Powell
particular, we've had
in Fed
all
position
kinds of
anymore.
financial
I think
crises,
Powell
but
is
we've never really
truly the
had a
GOAT.
successful cyber attack on a large financial utility, let's say, or financial institution.
Like Powell is the only person
quite a
who I
different
really
thing.
trust that
You
he's
know,
not
people are gonna
corrupt.
lose money
I don't know
in
why,
a
but
certain
I
part of
trust
the
he's not
economy.
really corrupt.
We have a hugely resilient.
He probably gets a lot of pressure to be
financial system.
corrupt,
It's more, let me
but
say this, it's more about
I think he's
resilience
really.
than it is about avoiding crises.
He
One of
has
our
a
former
mission
peoples
and he
used to
feels
say
it.
that we're in the levee building business, not the hurricane prevention business, right? So they're going to be hurricanes, and they're going to come, and you just have to assume you won't know what direction or what the nature of it will be. So you want a highly resilient financial system, and we do have that, but again, nobody who's in that business will ever give you a green light. They'll always say, here, these are the risks, and we got to monitor. You mentioned private credit. So private credit is something that as you guys are probably following. It's a relatively small part of a very large asset pool. We're watching it super carefully, as everyone is.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be stopped out from this trade.
Industry and investors and everything. I think we understand it. We're
I think
monitoring.
market is liking
We're
what
looking
Powell
for
is
things that might
saying
lead
in
to
terms of like
contagion or
he's
greater
not
losses or
super
connections to the
giga
banking
bearish.
system.
Yeah, S&P
And,
500
we're gonna
ES
do
is
that.
flying.
Again, you're not going to hear people say, "Oh, there's no problem here," because that's a jinx. But nonetheless, it's something that we're following very
The question is, do we want to long this market?
What is one of your biggest regrets in your time as Fed chair? And on the other hand, what is something that you're very proud of?
You know, on regrets, I don't allow myself the luxury of that. I think it's really important that in my job, I'm focused on the windshield and not the rear view mirror. And so I don't. I'm tempted to say regrets, I've had a few, but then again, not so many, or whatever the line is from that Frank Sinatra song.
Technically speaking,
I just
this
think
9
that
EMA needs to
I'll
hold
have plenty of
if
time
you're
to
in
think for
short.
that after I'm out of this role. But honestly, you just have to keep looking at the next thing. You can't be berating yourself for the mistakes that you've made. You're going to make mistakes, and you're going to learn from them. Take it from an expert. I've made plenty, but I don't focus on regrets and things like that. You know, overall, in terms of what I'm proud of, I'm more than happy to talk about that.
Let's go for it.
Yeah, let's go deep there.
Man, Powell is a goat.
Basically, I'll just say it's an incredible honor to do public service, as many of you will find out at some point in your life. I always wanted to do some of it. I saw these people around Washington who were well-known public servants like George Shultz. I would think that looks like a really interesting thing to do. It's different, you know. In the private sector, I love my years in the private sector, but there really is a feeling of what you're doing is hope. Ideally,
I think I'm gonna get stopped out because the new hourly candle is opening and this is looking super bullish now.
Particularly in a job like this. So that is the main thing I'm proud of is, you know, 14 years at the Fed. And
does anyone know how long he's gonna speak?
I'll always be proud.
When we're gonna have market
I'm
again?
very grateful to you for your service to our country.
Thank you.
So if you were willing to share publicly some advice that
Yeah,
you
I'm
would
gonna
give
get
to the next
stopped
Fed
out here.
chair, we'd love to hear it.
So one thing you will learn when your children are grown up and they have their own children is never volunteer advice. Only give advice when asked. So, and I would only give advice if asked, and I would do it privately. But I'll just say in general a couple things about the Fed. It is very, very important to stick to your knitting and to stick to the things that were actually assigned. And there's always a temptation to want to move into other areas. And I think we have very powerful tools. They're supposed to be for.
Do we know how long he's gonna speak?
Financial stability. There's always a time when an administration looks and says it would be good to use that tool for something else. What if we were just to and call that that's part of the mandate? Happens all the time, and we just have to be in a situation where we're
yeah, I'm gonna be stopped from this trade.
Against any politician or any administration, but we have to be careful to stick to what we're doing. The other thing is, I'll just note that, you know, the Fed's not a perfect institution. Don't look for perfection. What we do is very challenging and highly uncertain, but it's a great American institution, and I'm very proud to work with the people I work with. They're extraordinary right across the board, an incredible group of people, and I'll just close by saying it's very hard to build great democratic institutions and much easier to bring them down.
We were 20 points away from gap close.
So
That's what we do.
uncomfortable
That's what they
giving
do.
unsolicited
I meant.
advice to your successor. I know that the students in this room would love to hear your advice. They've asked me for my advice and asked me what you would advise them. So they're entering into an uncertain time, an economy.
But this market is turning a little bit
job
bullish.
formation
And
lower for many
I
reasons.
I really think we're gonna.
particular
I don't think
jobs
we're gonna have
were
super
plentiful
bearish
a
Monday.
couple of years ago for students
It's hard
coming
for
out of
me.
college or
Hard
no
for me to
longer
see
so.
bearish Monday,
And AI sits as this remarkable
especially because we
technological
had a
transformation that
zombie
is both
rally down
promising
on what day it was?
existentially threatening.
Friday? Yeah,
So
Friday. We
if
had
you're
zombie rally
advising
down.
the 600 students that
So
sit here
now we
today,
might have
what would you suggest they
slight
think
zombie
about as
rally up.
they embark on both academic and then ultimately professional careers?
Let me start by saying that I'm well aware, and my colleagues too are well aware of the current situation for students coming out. It's a time of very low job creation. And also you have AI going on, you've got the effects
Thursday and
of
Friday.
job
Yeah.
creation of
Usually
significant
zombie
changes in
rallies, it
immigration
doesn't matter
policy, which have brought down
what
both demand and supply of
direction
workers. The
it
unemployment
is the
rate
zombie
really
rally.
low, but that doesn't help you,
And that's why I long
if you're
overnight
coming
as well. I
into
was
that
longing
kind
in
of
the
market. So
at night,
it's a time when
not in the morning. At night.
the business, I mean, there's a business cycle, right? And you're coming out in the business cycle at a time when getting hired is a little bit challenging. There's also probably something more longer term, more secular that's happening and around technology and AI.
Okay, I think we are
So
turning
it's-
bullish
yes,
here.
it
We
is
are
a
inside the
challenging
orb.
time, but I'll say a couple things. One just is that the U.S. economy,
I think we are
compared to
retaking
other
the 9
major
EMA as well.
open economies and big market-based economies
Yeah.
around the world,
ES already
is
took the
just
9 EMA too.
incredibly dynamic and productive.
So I think we're gonna have a
Since World
bullish
War II,
afternoon.
US, compared to other, again, large mature economies, our productivity has grown at like twice the speed, for example, in Europe, and higher productivity is the way, compensation and earnings can grow over time. So it's an incredibly flexible and dynamic economy. It reinvents itself. Technology, it always comes from the United States. So just be optimistic about the medium and longer term. I'm very optimistic about the medium and longer term.
That's why we are bullish on the market as well.
And the other thing is,
Powell is optimistic.
my observation is that these large language models make people much more productive. I feel like it's making me more productive because I can learn things really quickly. And I talk to my son.
The
and
question
others
is,
who
do
are
I
out
want to
there
long
in
this
the
market
world,
now?
and I think if you use it well,
I'm still in a
it's
trade.
making you more productive. So I think you're in a situation where you need to invest the time to really master the use of these new technologies.
Okay, I'm out now. Yep.
Stop field.
That should stand you in good stead. But there's no denying
Okay,
it's a
how much
challenging
time we
for
have
the labor market,
until
but
he
it
stops
takes
speaking?
Patience and all that, but in the longer term, this economy is going to give you great opportunities, and just be a little optimistic about that.
So when you talk about the longer term, are you talking about 10 years, 20 years, 40 years? Are you worried that there'll be wind at our back as we use these tools over the next decade, but at some horizon, let's say 40 years,
Open some
there'll be
CS cases.
substitution rather than
I don't think I have any
It's
cases in my
so hard to
inventory.
say. I mean, a lot of people, you talk to business people, are talking about the sort of the next few years being big years for AI to come in, but they're mostly talking about existing, middle management, back office jobs and things like that. I don't think it shouldn't have those kinds of effects on people who can use AI well and that kind of. I don't know, but so
I opened
certainly the
45
next few
cases
years
yesterday and
look
didn't
like
get
whatever the
single
effects are,
cover.
we'll start to feel.
Brother,
Major
45
US companies, we talk to
cases.
a lot of
That's
those
like a
people
nice meal in
who run
restaurants.
those companies, and they're all looking at what they can do, and the truth is they can take out a lot of jobs that can be automated by a very smart large language model. They just can, and they will, because their competitors are doing it, and they can't afford to have higher costs than their competitors. What's that going to mean for you? It may not mean that much. It depends on what you're going to wind up doing. You may stay in school a little bit, and you may do something that is. It's going to create new jobs too over time, and again, it makes people more productive. I did talk to a CEO in tech world who said the marginal benefit.
It stopped me out, and now it's gonna go to my DP.
Very high. Now that's not what you hear all the time. So I don't know. I mean, when if you look back through history to generalize. This has been going on for a couple hundred years.
100 trillion
Since the
keys
loom
for
was
6
invented,
return
right?
good
There were
RRR.
people that were doing weaving out of business. But so in all cases, it has wound up raising productivity and raising living standards as long as
What's
the
our Viva
society keeps
activation bands
producing
doing
people
today?
who have the skills and aptitudes to benefit from that technology. So that will be the case here. But you're
Nothing
right,
much.
there can be a period during which it's challenging, and this may be one of those. But nonetheless, I would just say it's out there, and it's out there to be done. And I would be medium and longer term very optimistic about this economy compared to any other economy.
Terrific. Thank you so much. We're now going to open it up to your questions. So
Okay.
I think I've got Jason.
The questions, and I think then we are
David
finished.
in the well, and I've got 2 microphones in the balcony. Why don't we start with Jason? Do you have a question?
I think I have a question.
Okay,
if that's
great, fantastic. We're going to let Jason ask the first question.
So, Chair Powell, when
Bro,
you're
my
making
tweet.
decisions at the Fed, I'm curious, how much are you relying on very specific economic models? The Fed has its own big fancy model, Furbis. How much are you relying on information you get from talking to people out in the real world, to businesses, your own intuition and experience? What do you bring together as a way of thinking about these decisions with a role of economics, but everything else that feeds into it?
So it's really all of the above. We have to start with the perimeter, you know.
Man,
the
it's
reserve
really,
banks
it really
are
stopped me out, and now it's gonna hit my
all
DP.
50 states, right? 12 reserve banks, and they bring summaries of these extensive conversations they have with the public sector, the private sector, universities, healthcare, everything in their district. And we see all of that in the beige book and in the meetings. We get all of that. We also look at several models. It's never just the Furbis model. It's many, many different models, and we look at different alternative simulations. You look at all of that, and then we look at where our policy stance is, and we look out the window and we say, does it look like our policy stance is affecting the economy in a way that moves
I'm
us
not
closer
trade
to
long,
our goal there,
Joey. I'm not
keeps us
gonna
out of
trade
war?
when
We
he's
do all of
speaking.
that.
When he stops
We also
speaking, I'm
talk
gonna
to
look
each
for
other.
trades.
Now, I talk to the other 18 participants on the FOMC a couple of times each cycle, and people have different thoughts and ways of thinking about
The market
things.
doesn't have much
Senior
direction,
staff, you know, they've been doing this longer than any of us.
although it's
So
more
all of those things go into it. I wouldn't
bearish.
say, you know, I mean, so a good analogy is when I was in the private equity business, we had really good models of companies, and my big boss said, we want to have the best model in the industry, but if you think that model is going to make the decision for you, you're in the wrong business. So the models are just illustrative. We cannot model the U.S. economy with the kind of precision that we will never be able to. Probably it's like modeling the weather. You can't predict it 2 months away. So it's all of those things, Jason.
Thank you.
Okay, so David, why don't you pick the first hand, and then Jason, you'll get the second hand. And then we'll go to the balcony, so looking for someone upstairs.
Hi, my name is Fabio. I'm a first year studying economics and government. I'm really interested in kind of the decision making in the Fed. How do you work with situations where like the decision might be very tight, and like sometimes there's like expectations of like the interest rates increasing, or it might be very tight in those very tight decisions? Like how do you end up making the decision?
So remember, I'm one of 12 voters. So there's an FOMC cycle is about 7 weeks between meetings. We have 8 of them a year. So and
I
would
want to
say 3
trade.
weeks before the meeting, by then I have to have a pretty good sense of what I think we need to do, and staff will already have been working.
I wanna
on
trade,
for
man.
Anything in particular, we always have like a special topic. So a lot
Enter
of work
short
is
at the
going
top.
on.
I think that is good enough for
I
day.
almost need to make a decision about the probable.
Yeah, I mean, I have like 1 hour to trade. I don't trade after 1 hour from now.
I got to get people to vote.
I can be in position, but that position needs to be before that 1
I've been
hour.
working with these people for many years, so most of the time I kind of know how they'll approach a problem. That's how it works. So it's a lot of
Stopped
talking
me
and
out
listening
with
and
20
understanding.
points.
I think an underrated skill is in.
Can we do
listening to
monthly
people,
Discord poker night?
listening
Real
to
money
people.
buy-in? Man, that would be
listen
crazy.
to people and you hear them
Because
and you can make
the
their
the
argument,
problem with
they understand
online
that
poker
you're
is
actually listening to them
I
and
saw
not
there's
just,
like a bot for
communicating at
bot
them.
farms,
For most of the people, most of the
and
time,
they're
that's
farming
maybe
like
enough. And by the way,
the
that's true
online
on Capitol
poker
Hill.
is rigged.
That's true. It was true when I was a
And
governor. If I felt
doing
that
a
votes
Discord
felt like
poker will
Ben
be
or
super
Bernanke
cool.
or Janet were listening to me, and if they could engage with the
Jet lag, do you
points
know
I
how
was
to
making,
host it? Like
then I
where
felt like
do
I
we
could support
play
what
this
they
poker?
support.
Like
So
what platform or
it's a lot
how
of
does
that.
it work?
It's a
Although I
lot
would
of
love to do
community
it.
management. The big part of it is to have active dialogues going with all of the FOMC participants, and by the way, also with all the senior staff who've been doing this a very long time, and they bring, in many cases, they bring.
Discord has the poker podcast thing? Man, that would be awesome. We can definitely look into it.
Somebody who's been doing that for 30 years will tell you don't use that word, even though that
Poker
word
Stars
might
and
make
create
sense
a
in
private
context.
game. Yeah, the thing with Poker Stars is I think it needs
Here.
KIC. Or maybe it's
Good
only
morning,
for
Mr.
deposit.
Powell. I wanted to ask you a bit more about private credit markets and particularly rising defaults among non-bank
Bro,
lenders
can
like
they stop
Blue Owl
stalking? I want to
Capital.
trade for real.
So I wanted to ask, to what extent could stress in these private credit
I have like
markets spill
45
over
minutes to trade
into the
this market.
traditional banking system?
So that's the question we ask ourselves quite a bit, and as I mentioned, we're watching very carefully. Of course, you read
Tournament
what you can
winner
read
gets
in public,
100K funded
we're also
account?
getting the
Why
backstory
not?
from the people who
Why
run
not?
these organizations, and
That
from
would
all
si-
the
that
bank
would be sick.
supervisors are well aware of
That would
what
be
the bank's
actually sick.
exposure is and what is not. And I'm reluctant to say anything that suggests that we're dismissive of the risk, but we're looking for connections to the banking system and things that might, result in contagion. We don't see those right now. What we see is, a correction going on, and certainly there'll be people losing money and things like that. But it doesn't seem to have the
Bro, this
makings of
trade that I
broader
took on the
systemic event.
Tradify accounts.
But again, we never give a clean bill of health. We just keep watching for that. We don't see those characteristics though right now.
Let's go to the balcony and remember to share your name when you begin your question. Great.
Hi, my name is Cody. Thank you so much for being here, Mr. Powell. My question is about whether international relations has impact on your decision making. I know you mentioned that the Fed's job is to do exactly what's best objectively for the American economy, but I'm wondering,
And that
if
short
you're
is working
competing
out.
with, let's say China
Winner
or
gets
other
by
powerful
blown up.
countries, whether or not you would kind of, cut interest rates or do something like that to stimulate the economy to kind of get ahead of other countries.
No, it doesn't. We're always asking the question, as you suggest. What we serve the American public always in all of our decisions, and what is best for them. How do we achieve maximum employment and price stability on a sustainable basis? That's what we're always asking. We do, meet with, in Basel, the central banks all meet without the finance ministries, and we can talk privately about what's going on in global financial markets. It is a global economy. We all know each other, and frankly, and many of us have regular communications going on just privately, or by telephone, email, and text, and things like that. But we're never looking to get on the turf
This
of
short is actually gonna play
the
out, man.
national security people or the the State Department or things like that. We're
This
not
short
looking-
is gonna hit
looking
my
at things
TP,
that
guys.
way. We're looking at our goals. That would be, I think, a classic case of mission creep if we were to say, hey, let's deviate from just chasing these two goals and let's do something for a third purpose. That would almost by definition make us less effective at the things we're supposed to be doing, so we try to stick to that.
David, you're next.
Good morning. My name is Jenny, and
Oh,
thank
damn.
you so much for coming. We're all very honored that you took the time to come. So last lecture we learned about soft landings and about how it's definitely much more ideal than hard landings, but in
The
US history, we've
voice
had
is very
far
relaxing.
more hard landings than soft landings. And we were just talking about how it's really important that you are monitoring expected inflation. And I think a lot of that just comes down to the trust between the public and the central bank. And the central bank is known to be much more technocratic, but I think especially with like the rise of populism and previous events, there seems to
Bro,
be
it's
a lot
gonna
of,
hit my TP,
impact of,
actually.
like, political tensions
Actually.
between, or cooperation between the Fed chair position and the administration. And I wanted to ask you, how do you still keep the public's trust this way?
By sticking to our jobs and doing them well. Ultimately, if we deliver the maximum employment and price stability, or at least are seen to be doing everything we possibly can to meet various shocks and multiple supply shocks.
Okay, in 15 minutes it's gonna be 1 hour since he started speaking, so we have hope that it will stop in 14 minutes.
And you'll see that they've remained pretty well anchored right through all of this. So if you really think inflation is going to be higher, you can make some money betting against that. But people don't do that. The people who are putting their money to work in the financial markets. Not to give too much credit to that, but that's it. If we stick to our knitting and we do our jobs, we stay out of politics, stay out of the hot political issues of the day, and just do your job and keep your head down. I think I see this through my dealings with elected people. If they get the sense that you're not there to deliver talking points, you're there to listen to them, and you're really somebody who is committed to doing your job and sticking just to that job, and that's all you want.
To be honest, guys, I'm a little bit
into politics.
Exhausted from his speaking. I love Powell, but I want to trade.
I think we are accepted in that spirit in Washington, and I think generally around the country as well.
Jason. Remember to tell us your name.
Thank you, Chair Powell, for being here. My name is Jake. As you know, your term ends in May, and a potential successor, Kevin Warsh, has indicated a desire to cut rates if he fills the role of chair. What is your take on the effect that a cut would have on the flexibility of the Fed to remain well positioned to maintain both sides of its dual mandate, particularly given the fact that inflation has remained elevated above the Fed's 2% target for several years now, and progress is further halted by the oil shock and tariffs especially?
Jake, that's not something I'm gonna swing at, that pitch. Is that a Red Sox jersey, by the way?
I called on him.
Yeah, okay. I know this must be Red Sox country.
So we're going to go to the balcony next.
Bro, can we go back to trading now?
My name is Eamon Candido. So earlier you said that you don't know how much you believe in something until someone tries to take it apart. So my question was, what's the thing you currently believe about the economy that you're least confident in?
Interesting question.
Bro, Powell is...
I'm not going to give you a particular individual thing at the moment, but I will say that I would say this, and of course this is self-serving to an extent, but having worked in the private economy for most of my career, I don't have any predisposition to believe that models can really capture it, because so much of it is animal spirits, as Keynes called it. And also again, I go back to the weather. Will we ever be able to predict the weather with any precision three months ahead, other than the seasons? So the economy, no one has been able to...
Just say like it's markets. You can't predict more than
I think the temptation is
few days maybe.
To place too much sort of stock in in models or in one particular outlook. The other thing is, which is a big takeaway, is about fat tails, right? So
about what?
There's a normal distribution, and the tails are what they are. It's not a normal distribution. The tails are fat, and however fat you think they are, they're fatter than that. The possibility for the economies at any given time is so much broader. For example, the pandemic inflation. We'd spent 15 years with the inflation below target, and that was at a time of QE and lots of fiscal stimulus and that kind of thing. We had inflation below target, and people, pretty much the profession had, the big problem the whole profession was trying to solve was, how do we get inflation up to 2%? That was really the problem. And then along comes the pandemic inflation, and bang, suddenly you have a 40-year high inflation. So it's hard to keep your mind open to just how broad the possibilities are.
Take down here, yes.
Hi, my name is Robert. Thank you so much for being here. I'm a first year studying econ, math, and philosophy.
Can they say that this is the last question?
To, at least retroactively say that what we really needed during the COVID pandemic was around $3 trillion, and the government printed something along $6 trillion more than that. And so inflation rose, but that money is still out there. So if rates come down, obviously you took initiative and you raised them very significantly. If rates get lowered again to, let's say, 2% or so, do you think that the price spikes have already played out, or do you think that all that extra money being out there will, on top of, instability,
a good question though.
Politically, do you think that's going to push us back into an inflationary spiral?
Let me call Powell and this should stop immediately, please.
For your next press conference, are you going to start it with good afternoon or hello everyone?
Let's talk about that later.
Lol.
Sorry, the first question was
the expansion of the money supply.
Yeah, no, so I think monetary quantities are a very challenging way to try
that
to
was actually
think about
entertaining
inflation
for a
and
moment.
the economy. There was a time when the profession thought
But the
that,
market is shit.
Monetary quantities and inflation were tightly linked.
Guys,
of course, in an abstract way or in a simple model, it makes sense if you...
Can someone put the fire alarm there? I'm gonna give 10 more minutes. The market's really slow. I think we're gonna do a stream tomorrow. I only have 30 minutes to stream.
I'm not saying it might not have played a role.
30 minutes to trade.
It was more...
So, since the market is so quiet, we'll see. I'll take it by 10 minutes. We'll see in 10 minutes.
Possibility of another Great Depression.
But it seems more and more like no new trades for me.
We didn't know what this was going to be. How many millions of people was the disease going to kill? So literally, for the first time, probably ever, we're looking at
I want to find the trades.
Alternative simulations.
I found one.
Great Depression lasting many years.
Powell got me stopped out.
And then
now it's going my way.
The economy reopened after shutting down.
But I'm seeing something like this to the market. I don't know.
So
if I would put any prediction, I don't know. This market is
wanted
quiet.
A car because they didn't want to take public transportation, and they'd all moved to the suburbs and out of the city. So I need a car, and yet you couldn't make cars because you couldn't get the semiconductors. So you're looking at a vertical supply curve. So a little bit of demand drove prices up a lot. Then, of course, we took the view, my colleagues and I did, that a vertical supply curve works both ways. If a little bit of demand could bring that price right down, and also it won't be vertical forever. It'll start. You'll get.
Maybe we get some divergence at the highs.
It was always both supply and demand for me, and you got inflation coming down very sharply in 23 and 24. We got close to the end of your question. We got pretty close to 2% by the end of 24. Now we were just dealing with the effect of tariffs, which have largely fallen here in the U.S. and not abroad.
You're right. We need to have patience in this market.
They've been less than expected because the other side, others didn't retaliate, and also because what was implemented was less than what had been announced. Nonetheless, that was the piece. We were at about 3% inflation, and somewhere between 0.5 and 0.8 of that is from tariffs. So we've been pretty close to 2% all this time. Now we have another supply shock coming. It's one of those times where you get a series.
I'm so excited to be back streaming. We're gonna stream every single day. We will be back. We'll be trading every single day.
It's way too early to know.
It's nice to be back. It's so nice to be back. 3 weeks with no streams, huh?
So one last question.
Oh, last question, guys.
Hi, Mr. Powell. I'm Lola, and I was wondering at what point does the size of the US's debt break the point of natural systems repayment, and if that's something you're worried about now, or something you think our generation should look out for?
I don't think we know what that number is, a sort of ratio of debt to GDP, where it would be a problem. There are, of course, Japan being a great example, there are countries that have much higher levels of sovereign debt to their GDP than we do.
Be kind.
What's clear is that our debt is growing much faster. The federal government debt is growing substantially faster than our economy, and that ratio is going up, and in the long run, that's kind of the definition of unsustainable. The level of the debt is not unsustainable, but the path is not sustainable. And so it's really important that we get back to, we don't have to pay the debt down, we just need to have primary balance and and begin to have the economy actually growing better, growing more quickly than the economy. It will not end well if we don't do something fairly soon. This is not the Fed's job, of course, and I pretty much limit myself to those high-level points which essentially everyone ignores.
So we're going to thank Chair Powell, but let me just describe the sequence of events that now follows. So first we'll thank Chair Powell, then anyone who wants to is welcome to join us on the stage, and we'll take a group photo with Chair Powell. Because of a tight schedule, there can't be any selfies, because if there's one selfie, there's 600 selfies.
All right.
So you'll need to make do with one photograph of the entire class with our esteemed guest. But before we do that, please join me in warmly thanking Chair Powell.
Okay, nice. We are back. Let me guys know if the music is okay, if it's too loud. We are back, we are back, we are back. Okay, now we can finally trade. For me to jump into shorts again, probably has to be divergence with the last high. Headphones a little bit more far away. It looks like a good short up setup even right now, because we're still below the orb. So I think there is a high chance that we're gonna dump from here. But it's not like A plus setup, oh I want this. We haven't had Trump speaking right now. We don't have Trump tweeting right now, and that's can happen anytime. We are bear flagging, except this high, right? We are bear flagging something like this. It reminds me what day it was where we were bear flagged. I mean, Friday was the same. We bear flagged and then we dumped, and I think Thursday we had similar setup. But the market is really quiet. The more quiet it is, the more chance I would say we have to dump, because you kinda like, if you're bullish, you wanna start breaking this market up, right? If you're bearish, you kinda, I think, Mondays. If we could skip Mondays on the market, that would be great. Because after that open, we haven't had anything. We are choppy, we don't have direction, although this 9 EMA is holding us nicely. Sure. Like, what I want to see is this high give us divergence, and I'm okay shorting this. Otherwise, okay, so we just had London close as well. That was a quiet London close. Sometimes when London closes, it's a little bit more juicy, more action. Oh, you guys are funny. I missed you guys. Seems like a choppy market. Yeah, for me, it seems more and more, because I only have 30 minutes to enter into a trade. I'm not gonna enter into a trade. Maybe, okay, maybe. There's always, I don't want to say never, but I usually don't want to trade the Wall Street lunchtime, which starts in half an hour. Usually that's when the market is really slow. and I feel that every time you trade the lunchtime, you find yourself wasting time. You're later like, why did I trade right now? The market is not moving. And for me it's the same. Like I want to see the market move in order for me to be like, okay, let me see if I find the setup. Because if market is not moving and you enter right now and then the market starts moving, you need to be on the right side, right? But when market starts moving, and then you're like, okay, let me now find the setup. You have such a higher chance to actually find a better setup. Like one thing I always will praise, probably forever on this channel, is like you need to learn how to not to trade, because in life we are all programmed in a way where we see that you need to work to get something. In trading it's the opposite, right? You need to be patient. You don't need to do anything in order to make money. And especially like if you're waiting for setups, like I want to trade right now so much. Like I really want to press the button because my brain and my body and everything is telling me like, oh, I want to feel the feeling of making money, you know. It's the dopamine that you get from when you enter into position. You get excited and everything, and as soon as you don't do it, you are like, let me enter. And every time I enter based on these things, based on those emotions, every single time I'm like, why didn't I wait for setup? Especially, you know the examples where you press the button and then 5 minutes later the market starts really moving, and then you're like, I only had to wait 5 minutes. That's all I had to do. It has happened on the stream many times as well, where I'm like, oh, let me enter, and then it's like, yeah, that's now is the setup I'm waiting for, but now I have a shit entry. So I think it's like one of the, I don't want to say one of the most difficult things in trading, but you really need to learn how to trade. And I know it's easy for me to say because I'm already in nice profit for the day. I made my money today before New York opened, so maybe it's easier for me to say because I'm like, I don't really need to trade. But if you want to take only few trades per day, what do you think about footprint charts? Is it necessary? I think it helps you if you know how to read them. It's like order flow. I will put order flow into my trading system as well. I'm moving in middle of April to a new apartment, and then I want to have completely new setup. I want to kind of customize my setup based on my YouTube channel and everything. And then I want to have third monitor. Right now I have 2 monitors, and then I want to have 3 monitors, 1 monitor for order flow. If you know what you should look for in those footprint charts, absolutely, it gives you an edge. I don't think you need to relearn yourself to be order flow trader. Oh, I'm not gonna look even the normal candles, supports, resistance, I'm only gonna look footprints. I think that's just like kind of like resetting your time to learn how to trade. I like the problem with trading social media is like if you Google or if you YouTube search how to trade, there is this, I still don't understand why it exists. Probably because to sell you a course, but there is this thing where everybody tries to make sure that the other strategy is wrong, and then they are defending strategies like, oh, order flow is the only way to trade. No, quantitative trading is the only way to trade. No, ICT is the only way to trade. No, demand supply is the only way to trade. You know, like I always like in my head, I'm always like, why the fuck do you care? Like why do you care so much what's the right or wrong way? Like you are not, if you are right or wrong with some other person, it doesn't change anything for you in trading, right? If you're ICT trader and you are order flow, the other one is order flow trader, you don't get anything from this argument besides an extra funnel for your course. Oh yeah, ICT is shit or order flow is shit, you only need quant trading, blah blah blah, right? Like I never understood, like you in trading you only need to care about your strategy or your way of approaching market, right? You like, it doesn't matter if a strategy is working for someone else or not. It doesn't change anything for you. And that's like, I see it all the time on TikTok. Oh no, like someone posts video of them trading, and then there's like 11 comments. Oh, but there's no setup here. Yeah, for you. There's no setups for you. Who the fuck cares for you? I care that there is a setup for me. I follow my rules and that's it. So everything with footprint charts and everything, like, don't think that you need to move into completely new strategy because it works. The same thing you're doing is probably working as well. You just have bad risk management, or you always don't wait for your setups, or you're a revenge trader, like whatever it is. There isn't one right way. Like I saw some arguments that quantitative trading is the only way to trade, you know, where they take the historical data and they build like models around it, and they analyze all the market conditions and everything. You know why it's not the best way to trade? Because Indian market is traded by humans. Even if you have all the history, what happened in the past in 20 years, it doesn't guarantee that it's going to happen again in the next 5 years or tomorrow, right? Market can completely change, and that's like, I've seen so many people, they're selling those quantitative, again, I can be wrong with the terms, but that's what I have seen. They're selling those programs and bots that trade for you based on the strategy, and then you see how they work, and it's like they fail, right? They don't make money, or they make money and then they start losing money. Is every machine that is trading is in the end trading based on the historical data, and that's one thing that humans will never have unless we have AI chips, right? We don't trade based on historical data. Like, yes, we look back, we look on your left, and you look on support resistance. That I'm not meaning that, but we as a humans, we can't compute, I don't know, millions of occasions of what market has been doing before. And I think like that's why you can make an argument that quantitative trading is the only way of trading. No, it's not. Like it's like if you choose footprint, order flow, everything is fine. Just like try to focus on that and trying to find your edge in that system. Last thoughts on this market before I head off. It's chop, it's range, right? We had the dump, we are bear flagging. If it was any other day than Monday, I would say look for shorts. If we are talking today, I think like shorts around high, you're gonna have a small stop loss. Not bad idea because you're following the high time frame trend, but I think Mondays are tricky. But Ahmed, yeah, it's like I'm gonna have order flow in my trading as well. That doesn't mean I'm gonna learn order flow completely from the start and only trade this. I'm gonna add order flow because it gives me a little bit more information. Like on a trendy days, today is not the day. I don't think today is a day to trade EMAs. This is exactly like what happens. I would rather trade EMAs today if the market goes like this, and then we start like the EMAs are following here, right? And then I will, because I know the trend is really down. Right now the trend is kind of choppy. But I'm gonna have order flow in my trading as well, because it gives me a little bit more information. Like if I trade that 9 EMA, like for example here, right? I can check what order flow is doing here. I can check what order flow is doing here. I can even check what order flow is doing here. Maybe right now, what is order flow doing? It's gonna give me extra information, but I'm not gonna be like, I'm now order flow trader. I think like, I'm never gonna say that the way I trade is the correct way. I think there are so many better traders than me, obviously. I'm still a beginner, but I really enjoy the approach to the markets where I don't have one concrete strategy. I have 15-minute orb, I have EMAs, I have volume profile. Like I really want to every day approach the market. Okay, let me see what all those indicators, tools, what are they telling me today? And a lot of times my friend is asking me, what do you think what the market is gonna do in April? It's interesting to think what market is gonna do in April. And I don't want to be rude, but I really don't give a fuck what market is gonna do in April. Like how it's gonna change anything in my daily trades if I'm gonna think like, oh, what's market gonna do in April? I only care about what's market gonna do in April if I'm actually invested, right? If I invest my money into the market. So like I only care about what happened in the last few days, what the high time frame is showing me in terms of EMAs, areas, and then I will just not forget it, but like go only focus on what market is showing me today. Today is showing me don't trade EMAs because we don't have a trend. It's showing me quite slow market. I think Mondays are usually not the trend days. Like Mondays don't usually follow high time frame trend, which is bearish right now. So I think we're not gonna see super bearish price action. Maybe we even see a little bit bullish. And then like as the week goes on, then I start believing into high time frame trend more and so on. What does order flow tell you exactly? So I think there is 3 things that are super important in order flow. Order flow shows you orders. Let me show you. Let me put filter here. This on the right, on top step, let me make it bigger. This is also order flow. This is time and sales. This shows you when the order is actually executed. It doesn't show you when the order is placed, but it shows you when the order is actually. You took any trades today on the stream? I took 1 trade not on my real money account, on the evaluation account. This trade here, and then Powell was speaking. I didn't take any more trades. But this is also order flow. This is showing me what, like for example, right now someone executed 5 ES contracts. Now someone sold 5 contracts. This doesn't mean they are in short or long position. It can also mean they are take profits. Maybe their stop loss hit, right? But this is also order flow. So order flow itself, you see the actual orders hitting the market. Now what I would look for in order flow would be 2 things. Divergences, meaning that you see that the order flow is showing you a lot of sellers. There's heavy selling. You can see this with volume profile as well. Volume profile is also kind of order flow, right? But you see that there is a lot of sellers and you see the price is holding a certain level. So what you can kind of like use it for your advantage is be like, hey, there's a lot of sellers in this market right now, but the price is not moving down. So maybe they are trapping the sellers, right? Buyers are absorbing the sellers. They are okay with the selling pressure, and sellers are really trying to put the price down or make the price go down. Price is not going down, so maybe I will look for longs because I see that the sellers are getting trapped. So one is like divergences like this. Oftentimes what you're gonna see is like, I've seen this myself, price is, let's say, doing this, it's breaking down, right? And then you see a lot of buying orders coming here, and then price is still moving down, and you see huge orders coming in. Again, you use that information that, okay, someone big is actually buying this drop, so maybe we will start bouncing soon. The next divergence that I will use when I will use order flow in my everyday trading is CVD. So CVD is the cumulative volume delta. So if you have 5 buyers and 4 sellers, your delta is 1. It's the median average of sellers and buyers, right? If it's in a plus, that means there's more active buyers in the market. If it's in a minus, it means there's more active sellers in the market. Now, how you can use it is the same thing. Like let's say, for example, right here, the delta is minus 5,000, right? This is 5, don't mind my handwriting. This is here, the delta is, let me put it here as well. I'm gonna give you a quick tutorial, or not tutorial, but what I will look for order flow. So let's say the delta is here minus 5,000. Here, it's even minus 6,000, right? In this place. So you see how there's more and more sellers coming to the market and the price is reflecting it. And now let's imagine that it's 1 hour before the market close and the price is around here and the delta is minus 12. This is minus 12, right? So you see my point? Here you had minus 5,000, minus 6,000. The price was dropping, sellers were in control. And here now you see, let's just pretend we are close to the power hour, the last hour of the market open. and you see the delta is minus 12,000, so it's a lot more than it was here. So meaning there's even more sellers in the market, and the price is not moving down, it starts actually to trend a little bit up. So this can give you information that there might be a potential short squeeze, meaning the market is going to close in 1 hour. Everyone who is in the short position needs the market to go down. If the market is starting to go up, what the institutions or the bigger boys needs to do, right? If the market starts going up and they're in short positions, they need to cover their shorts. They need to exit their shorts and enter into longs, right? So you can kind of sometimes find if there's potential short squeeze. The delta is higher than it was when the market was moving, and now you see the same thing, and the sellers getting trapped, right? So that's like 2 things that I would use. I honestly forgot what I meant for a third thing, but when I start when I start trading order flow and when I start using it, I'll let you guys know. I'll make some YouTube videos. I'll do probably some learnings myself, some back testing, but I'm not gonna be order flow trader. It's just gonna give me, sometimes I'm gonna look, okay, CVDs in super minus, we're maybe 20 minutes from the market close, price is not moving, maybe they're gonna squeeze shorts, maybe there's some divergences, right? So it's just another information tool. Issue with CVDs, on trending days you can still have a positive CVD mate. I had one of my worst days because market kept selling off, but CVD on ES kept raising. Well, that's kind of the opposite of what I just explained, right? You have a lot of buyers getting trapped. You sure do you use Bookmap as well? Yeah, Bookmap is also you get those. The only thing with Bookmap or those liquidation like heat maps, you know, on Bookmap it shows you there's red color because there's a lot of orders. It's amazing tool, don't get me wrong. The only issue is those orders are same as depth of market, right? It's the same thing as this one. Let me put. What the fuck did I just do? Okay, I can exit this. It's this thing, right? I don't have the level 2 data here, but you will see like how many orders are in different levels. And the same thing is with Bookmap heat map, where you see the liquidation levels and blah blah blah. The only problem is those orders can always be spoofed, because what happens is, let's say someone places a huge sell order here, market starts chasing it because market wants liquidity, and they take this order out and they place it here, and it seems like someone big is selling, but they're actually they're in a long position and they're kind of baiting the market towards their order, because again market wants the liquidity, right? Market wants those orders. So that's the only thing I would say. Be careful if you use order flow. Like the whole depth of market is with our technology, it's a little bit spoofy. Like you see it a lot. They put the big order and then it disappears few seconds before the market goes to the price. So that's like the only thing that I will not pay so much attention in order flow, the whole depth of market or that thing, guys. But I don't see the setups. This is I don't see any setups. I think I'm gonna call it a day here. I don't want to just keep you on and you watch me doing nothing. I don't think I'm gonna enter into any trades. The only trade I will actually wait. There is one trade that I like. Or is it? Oh, by the way, let me use 2 minutes. I want to give you a really good example of what happened on Friday, because I praise VWAP deviation bands a lot, and I need to say this because I know a lot of you guys are watching VWAP deviation bands because of me. Now, I've told you a lot about how I use them for reversals, and if you haven't seen how I use them for reversals, I'm not gonna go into that. But what I want to say is, same thing. It doesn't matter if it's bullish or bearish, but what you saw on Friday is those weave activation bands kind of escaping the price, right? We were inside and then it happened as the normal rules, right? We broke outside, we retested, and you can get your long, right? But we were in a downtrend, so it's a risky scalp, but it worked like our rules, right? You break the weave activation bands, you break out of them, you wait for the retest, and then you enter into your reversal. But what I want to say to you, or what I want to tell you, if you have a really trendy days, we have we have 65 and 35 RSI to kind of spot the trendy days. Like even if I go on 5 minutes, we are far away from wait, this should be at 65. We're still far away from 65, but what I want to show you is, yeah, this one. On those trendy days, if you see that the price is trending down, but those weave activation bands are like escaping, I really want you to stay away from trying to find reversals, because the only time you want to find reversals from those weave activation bands is not this, when this weave activation band is far away. You want this, right? So just, I saw it happening on Friday, and I'll make a YouTube video about it as well, but it's also another way you can kind of spot the days when you don't want to go into reversals. And like this is kind of similar, but this in the end kind of worked out, and we had Trump tweet, whatever. But it's just like when we are like, I think this part here is quite good example, right? You are just like ramming the weave activation bands, but you're not going inside of them. You want this bullshit action inside of them before you find your reversal. So make sure that if you have a trendy day, you're not gonna look for reversals in case those weave activation bands kind of like escape away from the price, and then price can just like go down and down and down. Just wanted to throw it out. Okay guys, I'm not gonna, I'll give another look for market, but I don't think I'm gonna find any trades here. We might have a small divergence. Let me see if this is something worth noticing. So we have, let me see. Okay, small divergence. Yeah, it's not yet. I'm seeing the vision, but it is like, you can say it's divergence in a way that it's doubled up here, not doubled up here, right? But it's not divergence for me to go in. Like it's still, the trend is down, right? The trend line is down. You want to see them, you want to see this, right? Even if it's a small one, but you want to see them like on opposite side of each other. Let me see if there's any divergences with EMAs. There is a small divergence on EMAs, and I would say it's even bullish. You have ES close 15-minute candle above this 100 EMA, right? And NQ is struggling. So I would even suggest that NQ will probably take over this 15-minute 100 EMA as well. Because ES is showing that we are looking to go above it. But the market is sideways. I'm not gonna push any trades. You know my style. If there's no setup, I'm not gonna trade. It's always gonna stay like this. Again, guys, we are streaming every single day this week. Every single day. So tomorrow we are live again. I'm gonna get some food. I'm gonna check what the market is doing in few hours. In 5 minutes, my rules say don't trade for the next 2-3 hours. So, but it's fucking awesome to be back, guys. We're gonna do it now every single day. We're gonna stream, we're gonna trade. I have so many ideas that I wanna do with you guys. I wanna show you really good content, and yeah, I'll be back tomorrow, guys. I'm not gonna waste your time as well. I want to give you the best quality streams, and right now nothing is happening, so I don't see the point of just staying here for the sake of it. So guys, trade well. Welcome back to the streams. Welcome back to the everyday streaming. We are so fucking back, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.